Autobiography of a Yogi. The characteristic features of Indian culture have long been a search for the ultimate verities and concomitant Dasuru Guru discipleship. My own path led me to a Christ-like sage. His beautiful life was chiseled for the ages. He was one of the great masters who are of India's truest wealth. Emerging in every generation, they have bulwarked their land against the fate of ancient Egypt and Babylonia. A gesture of respect for father, in the afternoons mother would dress his children carefully to walk him home from the office. He held a position similar to that of the vice president in one of India's large companies, Bangalore-Nagpur Railroad. His work involved travel. Our family lived in several cities during my childhood. Please give me 10 rupees for a hapless woman who has just arrived at the house. Mother's smile had its own persuasion. Why 10 rupees? One is enough. Father added a justification. When my father and grandparents died suddenly, I had my first experience of poverty. My only breakfast before walking miles to my school was a small banana. Later at the university, I was in such need that I applied to a wealthy judge for aid of 1 rupee per month. He declined, remarking that even a rupee is important. How bitterly you recall the denial of that rupee. Mother's heart had an instant logic. Do you want this woman to also remember painfully your refusal of 10 rupees, which she needs urgently? You win. With a memorial gesture of vanquished husbands, he opened his wallet. Here's a 10 rupee note. Give it to her with my goodwill. Another early recollection is outstanding, and literally so, for I bear the scar to this day. My older sister Uma and I were seated on an early morning under a neem tree in our Gorakhpur compound. She was helping me in the study of a Bengali primer. What could I do spare my gaze from the nearby parrots eating ripe magosa fruit? Uma complained of a boil on her leg and fetched a jar of ointment. I smeared a bit of the salve on my forearm. Why do you use medicine on a healthy arm? Well, sis, I feel as though I'm going to have a boil tomorrow. I am testing your ointment on the spot where the boil will appear. You little liar. Sis, don't call me a liar until you see what happens in the morning. Indignation filled me. Uma, unimpressed, twice repeated her taunt. An adamant resolution sounded in my voice as I made slow reply. By the power of will in me, I say tomorrow I shall have a fairly large boil in this exact place on my arm, and your boil shall swell to twice its present size. Morning found me with a stalwart boil on the indicated spot. The dimensions of Uma's boil had doubled. Double. With a shriek, my sister rushed to Mother. Mukunda has become a necromancer. Gravely, Mother instructed me never to use power of words for doing harm. I've always remembered her counsel and followed it. My boil was surgically treated. A noticeable scar left by the doctor's incision is present today. On my right forearm is a constant reminder of the power of man's sheer word.